Hi, my name's Kev Popat and today we're talking about the key differences between normal age-related memory loss and dementia. I had a conversation with a family member earlier this week who was talking me through some of the worrying symptoms that their parent is displaying. We talked through a whole host of different issues around this and whether these are signs of dementia or just signs of normal age-related memory loss. So we're going to talk through some of those things now. So before we get started, I just want to make really clear that I do not want you to use the following list as a way of diagnosing dementia. And also, if there are items from what we talk about that are worrying you about a loved one, it's really, really important to remember that there is a lot of support out there. And it's really, really important to speak to your GP and kind of start the process around getting an official diagnosis. So with that in mind, we're going to talk through 4 key skills and whether I believe that these are part of normal age-related memory loss or actually potentially a sign of dementia. So the first skill I want to talk about is short-term memory. As we get older, it is completely normal to forget something but then be able to self-correct. So an example of this would be to walk into a room and not remember why you're there, but be able to retrace your steps and remember why you are there. A potential sign of dementia may be forgetting an event that happened earlier that day. For example, forgetting that someone came to visit you and having absolutely no recollection of that happening. An example of this may be that a parcel is delivered at home and your elderly family member has absolutely no idea how that parcel got there and when it got there. So the next skill I want to talk about is orientation. It is completely normal for someone who is aging to forget a familiar place but then later recollect that place. A potential sign of someone living with dementia might be that they are forgetting sight of very, very familiar places. I've had examples of people in their own home and having no idea of where they are, having no idea what day it is, what time it is, and that causing a huge amount of anxiety. That it could be a potential sign of dementia. So a completely normal part of aging is going to a familiar place and initially forgetting that place, but then later seeing some familiar objects and then really remembering that place and remembering some of the memories associated with that place as well. The third skill I want to talk about is visual perception and general eye health. A completely normal part of aging is to potentially need glasses to read, so needing reading glasses, potentially needing a cataract operation, and just generally a deterioration in your eyesight is completely normal. A potential sign of dementia is a distinct loss of colour perception, as well as having real difficulty interpreting visual information. A really good example of this is a very, very good local care home. On their dementia floor, they have put a lot of effort into ensuring that there are distinct colours between rooms. The colour of the carpet is different colours to the colour of the walls. When food is served, the colour of the plate is very different to the food that is being served on that plate. I also remember really clearly one of the first examples and one of the first lessons I was taught at my Dementia Friends training was around a local shop that had a big black mat outside of it. There was a particular lady who wasn't able to and got really stressed out trying to walk into the shop because she felt like the black mat was actually a black hole. In the story, the carer that was with the elderly lady just moved the mat out of the way and the lady was able to go into the shop stress-free. The final skill is problem solving and decision making. It's very normal for someone who is aging to have a little bit of difficulty multitasking and get confused around particular tasks. A potential sign of dementia is when someone could get very, very confused doing familiar tasks. For example, paying someone a certain amount of money and expecting a certain amount of change in return. Having really no ability to multitask at all and getting very, very confused in these situations as well. To summarise, I'd like to remind you to not use this list to diagnose dementia, to remember that there are a lot of behaviours that are normal as we age, and I guess also really, really importantly that there is a lot of support and guidance and advice out there. There's also a lot of treatment out there if someone is living with dementia, and people are able to really, really live well with dementia. So for more information, please click through to our website.